Welcome to episode 7 of Unless You Live Hardcore. I'm Kyle Forsyth.
I'm Jake Ford. What's going on? What's up,
What's
Kyle?
up? What's up? How's it going? We were just talking before we started about how YouTube is striking us for playing music.
Yeah, dude. Every single episode has been copyright striked, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact we've been getting 0 views on most of the YouTube videos, but I'm gonna blame that.
Yeah, this is
Instead
on you guys.
Instead of our own audience. I'm gonna blame that, dude. No, go watch us on YouTube and yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. But they are striking our shit, dude. So we'll never be able to monetize it, anyways.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. You know, at some point
It might be fine to you. It might be fine to you, Kyle. But I'm a capitalist, and I'm not willing to give up another cash stream. Are you? Another income stream, dude?
It's fine for right now. With the number of views we're getting, it's fine.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what I mean. Right now, it's fine. In the future,
yeah.
probably not. You know, like
We'll have to figure that out.
Hopefully, it's not fine in the future. You know what I mean? It's like right now, it's fine. But it's like I was saying, like I think it's because the maximum that you can do is 15 seconds of a song without getting a copyright strike. From my understanding, from what I've heard from other podcasters and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that's like the max you get is 15 seconds.
Which that's not enough to like really do any sort of commentary on like a song. Like there's not even like most songs don't even have sections that are only 15 seconds long, you know what I mean?
Especially like hardcore metal music, the breakdown takes at least 30 seconds to get to. You know? Like the build up to the breakdown, a lot of times the breakdown itself is 30 seconds at minimum.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Just, like, play a build-up to a breakdown and then be like, all right, guys, that's all we can play without losing our ad revenue on this video. So
go ahead and listen
that's like edging a person, and then you're just like, you walk away when you're finally, like, about to let them come. You're like, nah, never mind, dude.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Never mind.
It's exactly that. Just get them to the peak. And if you guys want to hear how heavy that gets, go play that song on
go
Apple
listen
Music.
to that on your own. Finish yourself off.
It gets real heavy after that part, though, we swear.
Trust me. Trust me. It'll make you feel real good. Listen to it. Go listen to it.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's fucking funny. Oh, well. For right now, we'll get the strikes. We'll try and be more cautious.
I don't give a shit about the
strikes,
man.
But it is what it is, man.
I don't think they're, like, they don't, like, ban people for that, right? It's because it's not like, we're not actually getting copyright strikes. We're getting copyright claims. The strikes are when you, like, if you get 3 of those, they, like, take your channel down.
Yeah, I think we're fine. It's whatever. We're just not going to get monetized, and they're not going to push us up in the algorithm for now. It's whatever.
Darn. I don't think they were going to do that anyways.
I don't think they were anyways, unless we were paying for it.
Not if I'm starting episodes off being like, yeah, it's like edging, right?
You got to hand money to Google to get fucking pushed up in the algorithm, dude.
I'm fine with that, dude. Let's give all of our money to Google.
That's how it works, man. They make you pay them for the advertising.
Corporate tech bros over at Google who are saints and don't do anything bad ever.
No, Google's a good company, solid company. You know, whenever a company is one of the biggest companies in the world, there's nothing foul about them.
Definitely,
Amazon,
dude.
Google, all of them.
They got through
Microsoft.
They got their playing fair and through diligence and hard work, dude.
Yeah.
That's
I heard somebody else said recently, I think another comic was talking about this, is that if you want to be a billionaire and you want bad press about you to go away, you need to own your own newspaper. Like Bezos owns like Washington Post or something. Bill Gates owns like he owns like one of like the Times or something like that. Like it's like
that's why you don't hear anything
like a major news publication. Yeah.
That's why you don't hear anything bad about Google.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Nobody uses fucking Bing, dude.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to know bad things about Google? Too bad, we won't show you. Yeah.
If you're gonna try and find some dirt on Google, you're gonna need to go on Ask Jeeves to find.
You're gonna need to go to TikTok for that.
Yeah.
TikTok will tell you about how bad Google is. I feel like.
Yeah, they're always, but dude, that's TikTok's whole thing is being like, check out how bad everybody is. I feel like that's most of TikTok.
It really is. It's a lot of that and like self-diagnosing. I have like some fucking bit that I've been working on where I'm like, TikTok's terrible as far as it goes for like self-diagnosing, you know? It's just like
Yeah.
when you like it's like you'll be on TikTok and it's like if you don't like peanuts, it means you're autistic. Like it's like I don't think that's a thing. Like,
No, not at all, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad. You know, like and we'll get into some metal stuff soon, but this is hilarious to me. Is like there literally has been an uptick, in people like girls faking Tourette syndrome on TikTok, dude. Like, look it up. People are just like, there's been a huge uptick in just people like acting like they have Tourette syndrome.
Do you think it has to do with that like Louis Capaldi? Do you know Louis Capaldi?
I do know Louis Capaldi, and I was wondering for a second if he was faking it, but he's not.
No. I watched his documentary on Netflix the other day. Yeah, I mean, interesting guy. He seems like
really
a
like
sweetheart
Louis
of a
Capaldi.
person.
He's hilarious and has a great voice. I'm not like the biggest fan of a lot of his songs necessarily, but dude, that voice is insane.
Dude, I don't even really listen to his music. I don't like. I realized after watching the documentary that I knew his music, or while watching it, I was like, "Oh, I do know this guy's music." Like, I went into it.
His songs are wildly popular.
Yeah, I went into it though. I went into it not knowing if I knew him though. I was like, I think I've heard of this guy. I was like, I've heard of his. Like, I've seen TikToks about him, you know. And then so I was like, I'll watch this. And then I was like, oh, I know his music. And then also watching, I was like, this dude seems like a really genuine dude, like who just got really overwhelmed by like the idea of fame and celebrity because it just hit him and he wasn't ready for it. And I was like, damn. And like then it just triggered Tourette's. And he's like, I've always had it. He's like, but all the stress and fame and anxiety from that just made it way worse. He's like, I've always had tics. He's like, I just didn't know it was Tourette's until this happened.
Yeah. No, I mean that's crazy. I like Louis Capaldi a lot, so that kind of sucks. But he seems to be managing it well, better than these fucking girls on TikTok who don't really have it.
Yeah, he seems. I don't. I feel like there's probably dudes too. To be fair, all right.
I mean, I haven't seen a single dude doing that, dude.
I think it's your algorithm.
The bros,
Jake.
dude.
This is your algorithm.
No, because it's not even my algorithm. It's not. I don't go on TikTok. I just read about this in the news.
TikTok's like, this dude's really into chicks with Tourette's. We're gonna give him more of that.
No, I read about this like in the literal news, dude. Also, you can just like find it on like YouTube. People just are like making like YouTube documentaries about this shit. Like, yeah, no, TikTok's like really bad for society. It turns out it's not. It's not good.
As it turns out, yeah.
And I think it should be. I do think it should be banned, but I think the government's kind of fucking up in the way that they're going about it because they're just kind of being racist, dude. They're like, it's fucking China, dude. We gotta ban it because of China. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but like, don't say that. Just like, that's not a good way to get the public on your side about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not they're trying to get the Republican vote. It is what it is.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
That's fun. That's a whole other thing. I guess we should probably get into music finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok has such a weird influence on music nowadays too. Like you can just literally get famous from 30 seconds of your song being big on TikTok.
I mean, one of the songs we're talking about today, I've seen people making TikToks already about this band because it's like such like a controversial thing, which is Better Lovers, 30 Under 13.
Yeah.
That's the song, which is basically 3 members of Every Time I Die, 1 member of Stray from the Path.
No, Dillenger Escape Plan.
But isn't one of them from Stray from the Path?
No, Will Putney is in Fit for an Autopsy and like 7 other bands as well.
I swear one of them is Stray from the Path. I thought I saw that in the article.
I think he's actually produced a Stray for the Path record before, but I don't think no. But Will Putney mainly just produces, but he's in a bunch of bands. Like Will Putney produced like Knocked Loose and I think Every Time I Die's final record, Radical, he produced. Like that dude's awesome.
Maybe that's the article I saw. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, so the singer is Greg Puciato, ex-Dillenger Escape Plan. Guitarist is Will Putney, Fit for an Autopsy. And 3 ex-members of Every Time I Die. Guitarist Jordan Buckley, drummer Clayton Goose, Holyoke, and bassist Stephen McKitchy, I think. McKitchy? Either way,
I don't know.
3. So the guitarist, drummer, and bassist of Every Time I Die, one of them being one of the Buckley brothers.
Yes.
And then Will Putney, Fit for an Autopsy, who, like you said, is a producing machine.
Yeah.
And then Greg Puciato, ex Dillenger Escape Plan. It's a wild supergroup. I mean, it's crazy how much they still sound like Every Time I Die. Like, even with that vocalist.
I honestly was hoping that would be the case, because I didn't want them to like lose that sound that they had. It's such a good sound, and they've just like perfected it over 20 fucking years. So I'm glad that they kept that sound, and I think they'll probably, because Dillinger was so weird. Like, Dillinger was just a weird fucking band, so, like, I do think that they'll probably experiment a little bit more, but as, like, a first single, they probably just wanted to come out the gates, like, as heavy as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, let's get a copyright violation real quick.
Let's do it.
Give it a little more juice. It does just start right out of the gate. Like,
Yeah.
as far as guitars and screaming, it sounds like an Every Time I Die track.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, just instantly.
And
which
Greg,
is like,
Greg was actually on an old Every Time I Die song. Which song is that? It's on New Junk Aesthetic. He's on, fuck, I can't remember the name of the song right now, but he's been on an Every Time I Die track before.
yeah, I'm about to look it up. I'll
Yeah.
figure it out real quick. But yeah, I mean, it is wild. Like, even vocally, it still sounds like fucking Keith Buckley, even though it's not, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, kind of. They have
Did you know that also?
distinct enough screams.
Yeah, but it like even it sounds similar, you know, where it's
Yeah.
not too much of a departure, where it still sounds like it could be.
Well, it would have
Keith.
been weird if they got a vocalist who was in more of like the mid-lower range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
I don't
did you know
think
on
that.
so we're sorry, I just
No, go ahead.
on New Junk Aesthetic, we were just talking about that. So Pete Wentz also did vocals on that album.
I do know that. Yeah.
on
He's
After
on...
1/4 of a Revolution, Pete
Yeah.
Wentz of Fall Out Boy. That's so wild.
Well, Pete Wentz does all the screaming on like that one song that Fall Out Boy has.
Yeah.
With, like the Happy Tree Friends music video, like Carpal Tunnel of Love or something like that.
They have a few songs, even on their first EP. They have a couple songs on there with screaming as well.
Yeah.
Saturday, their song Saturday from like their
Yeah,
early
yeah.
album has screaming on it. So, and that's all Pete as well.
Remember when his dick pics got leaked on the internet, dude?
I do remember that.
Fucking Pete Wentz, dude.
Yeah.
What a character.
You're saying fucking okay. So Greg Puciato, he was on The Marvelous Slut.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah,
what
it's
he
like
was
the second song on the New Junk
You fucking
Aesthetic.
nailed it.
Yep.
Second song, track number 2, only to be preceded by Roman Holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what I mean. It is interesting like that. I mean, I think this happens a lot though with like ex-band members start a new band with people who've been in other bands. They usually end up with somebody they've toured with or worked with before in some way, you know, like from another band.
Yeah.
That tends to happen that way. And so it's not surprising ultimately that they went with somebody who's been on one of their previous albums and they've been in a studio with before, so they're comfortable being in a studio with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And plus, he's like a great vocalist and lyricist. Like, I love old Dillenger Escape Plan stuff, dude. They were not all of it. Some of it's a little too like out of pocket and weird polyrhythm stuff for me. But some of the
It's
songs
almost like early
are
gen.
yeah. Some of their songs are very straightforward though, and I really like. I vibe with a lot of those songs. So Greg, I felt like Greg was like a really really good choice for this band, and like the fans are like extremely pleased that he's the guy that they chose.
Yeah, I think he's a solid choice, especially with the sound that they have. Here, I want to play another part of it. So in the article that I have pulled up here from Consequence of Sound, they mention that at the 2:15 mark, the track goes high-speed hardcore.
Yes,
And so I'm
it
just
does
going to
pick
skip
up
to like
real
that
fast.
part. Yeah, so I'm
well,
going to skip to
Can you play the part
2:13.
before it so it kind of like transitions into it? Because I like how they like immediately go
Yeah, I'll
into
start
it.
at 2:03.
Sure.
Yeah, dude, you just want to fucking rapid headbang at this part.
Circle
You know what
pit,
I mean?
dude. Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah,
start
dude,
a
I just
circle
want to
pit in
like
my room right
bang
now.
my head as fast as I can. Yeah.
It's very,
That,
it's extremely thrashy, dude.
yeah, it gets very thrashy there, and I do love that. It gets like really hardcore there. It gets like that very old school hardcore punk sound, you know, which
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
very much what Every Time I Die kept going in a way, is that hardcore punk sound.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I mean, I
There's
was
even a
not
nice
always,
little shreddy guitar solo in there.
yeah, it's dude, and like I was not always the biggest Every Time I Die fan necessarily. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like them, you know, and I always liked them, but I never like loved them necessarily. I never had anything against them. Just they were middle of the road for me. It wasn't something I usually chose to turn on, but I had all
Yeah.
their albums saved in my music, you
Uh-huh.
know. Um, but this is fucking solid. I really dig it.
See,
And I'm excited to see what
they've
more
been
they have.
Every Time I Die has been my favorite band for like a long time, actually. So I was always, I was
What made
extremely
you?
bummed when they broke up.
What made them like become your favorite band? Like, what was it for you?
Uh, I mean, outside of the music, also is just like their personalities. Like they have tour documentaries and a bunch of like tour videos and stuff like that. Them in the studio, and they're just like really funny, lovable guys. Like Andy Williams, who's not in this new project right now, but they're said they're saving a spot for him in the band if and when the time is right. That dude is just like hilarious. They're all extremely funny, but like, yeah, all their tour videos, I kind of just resonated with those guys. Yeah, just stuff like that. And then outside of that, their music is sick, and their live performances are just insane. Like, I didn't know about Every Time I Die until 2012. Like, I knew about them, but I didn't really know any of their music. And then I saw them at Warped Tour, and I just like was blown away and immediately got hooked. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start listening to them, and it just kind of went from there.
Yeah, I mean I get that, dude. Sometimes it is like the live performance at a young age. That's like part of what sells it for you. I mean, that's I think that's really what sold me on I See Stars at a young age, which is wild. Like
Yeah,
most people don't get like my love for them, and it's like I just saw them fucking killing it every time I saw them live at
they
like
were
local
really good
shows.
live.
They were so good live, dude. Like especially for just teenagers. Like
Yeah,
I mean, they killed it live. Like every time they were performers, and that's part of like what really made me love them as a band is the live performance aspect of it. Yeah, they put on a performance from an early time. Like they had lights and everything. Like they had more production than most local bands were putting into it.
well,
Um,
yeah, well, they were also just like a big draw.
mhm.
So they were making a lot of money on certain shows. Like I know people that used to work at Skateland West where they would just like, dude, they would sell that place the fuck out. It would be
I saw them open
packed.
for they opened on a show there. Also What Happened in Vegas was on that show, but they were opening for like a Skylit Drive and like a few other bands. It was like a big tour. It was a big post-hardcore emo tour. But I remember a
Yeah.
Skylit Drive was one of the closers on that tour.
Okay.
Skateland West. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know when Icy Stars used to headline shows there, they used to have like a fucking like $7,000 guarantee or something like that. So it was a lot of money. Because they
Yeah,
used to
that's
they
wild.
used to bring in like 800 kids in there, and so they're already covering their guarantee and ticket sales, and then so many of those kids would buy shit from the concession stand because it was like it's also a skate rink, so like they would make a killing when Icy Stars would play there, dude.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's so wild like to think back about that. Like that band was they peaked too early. Like they peaked
Yeah.
so early,
Well, dude,
which like
because like their
sucks.
second album did not do well, and it wasn't
No.
good.
It's
The
because they got
end
rid
of
of
the
all
world
the
party,
streaming.
yeah,
They
end of
got
the
they
world
took
party isn't good.
well, it's like they got big off of doing a certain thing, and then
Yeah,
their second album, they pretty much stopped doing that thing. Like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take a lot of the auto tune out of it. Also, we're gonna go ahead and take all of the screams out of it, 100%." And like it was just like everybody's like, "This isn't what we signed up for." Like, this
Yeah.
is not why we got into you. This is not what we loved about 3D, the first album.
Also, a big drop off in like production value from the first album to the second album.
hmm And then they
And
came back around, but the problem is they lost a lot of people on that
yeah,
second album. Their
and
stuff
I
after that
won't.
got good, but like,
It did get good again, but like I won't lie, like, and I won't even name names. Because we're doing the Suckamour segment on this, where we're gonna listen to my old band's EP that we never released because it's so bad. Uh, the the guy who like tracked and mixed and mastered that EP is also the guy who did Icy Star's End of the World Party. So
yeah,
I
he's to
don't need to
blame for
name
both.
names. You know, you can just go on the holiest website on the planet, Google, and find out about it.
Okay,
Yeah, dude.
Google.
Google. Who produced End of the World Party? And nothing against that guy. It's not even that he is a bad producer. I think he was just dealing with some bad personal shit at the time, and you know, he was overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Because
no,
he has a bunch of work out that is very quality. So I'm like, I don't
I'm
know what
sure
happened there.
Cameron Mizell is a nice dude. Is that it?
Oh,
Or is it Joey Sturgis?
I guess it
Or
must have
Matt
been
Dalton?
well, now we gotta bleep out names, dude, because you said the guy. Yeah, it was that third
it
one,
was the
dude.
third one? He did additional recording on this album.
Maybe
Production
I don't
was
know.
Cameron. Production, engineering,
mixed it?
Cameron. So production and engineering was Cameron Mizell. Matt Dalton was additional recording, and Joey Sturgis is mastering.
Oh, see, yeah, that's why, dude.
So mixing might be Matt Dalton, considering it's just listed as additional recording.
Yeah.
He might have
Well,
done some
I'm
mixing.
pretty positive all the tracking there, it was at 37 Studios. Because
Yeah.
there was a point in time where we were tracking there, and Icy Stars wasn't, but their fucking trailer was outside. They just had their trailer stored out back of the studio.
Ah,
Yeah.
they're probably just coming back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird, man. Anyways, we got off on a weird tangent there.
Yeah.
We'll get back into Suckamour in a little bit because I got the band that I brought this week, which I love this band right now. I've listened to this band a lot lately.
The Slay Squad?
This is Slay Squad.
Nice.
This is who this is, dude. It's fucking. So they were on No Cover, the show on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which was basically a competition show for heavier artists for the most part, or for alternative music in a
Yeah.
sense.
Alternative rock and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it
Heavy
was.
stuff.
Yeah, it was like produced by Sumerian Records, so they did have a focus on trying to bring in heavy artists, and alternative music in general. But yeah, it was the panel of judges was so weird and eclectic. It was Alice Cooper, Lizzie Hale, Tosin Abasi from Animals as leaders, and Gavin Rossdale from Bush.
Yeah.
And
Which the Bush thing is hilarious. The fact that he was on there was strange, but
dude, he's also on Incarceration Festival. Bush is on Incarceration, and they don't belong there. It's a way heavy
No.
festival, and Bush is out of place. I think that Bush must have the same management as a lot of heavy bands or something. That's my guess. I think they're under the same management, and so they're getting the same festivals, and they're getting, like, Gavin Rossdale got booked to be on, like, this show and stuff, you know? I think they've got some overlapping management or something like that, is my guess.
yeah. Dude, Bush sucks, dude.
Yeah,
They're a
yeah.
bad
That's
band.
neither here nor there. But yeah, this band was. This band was on that show, and that's how I discovered them as I was watching that show. And it was a fucking cool show. They had some really great bands. The band that won it's actually from Port Huron,
Yeah.
the Native Howl.
Native Howl. I've seen them live. They're great.
Yeah, my wife's seen them a bunch of times because she's from Marysville, Port Huron area. And when I was watching the show and she started watching it with me, And she's like, "Oh, that's the native howl. I almost made out with their bassist one time." And I was like, "That's cool, babe. Thank you." I was like, "I needed to know that." Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, he was doing a basement show. Like, he was hitting on me. We almost made out, but it ended up not happening." Like, she's like, "I blew another dude that night instead." And I'm like, "Awesome, awesome."
Ah, damn, dude.
It's fucking funny, man. It's it kind of would be cool though.
Damn.
Be like, I mean,
I'm
hey,
sorry,
whatever.
Kyle.
No, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
care.
No, I'm kidding.
I love her to death.
Hey,
dude.
you married
It's
her, dude.
fucking,
You got her.
It's a funny
You
story.
got her in the long run.
At the end of the day, it's a really funny story to me.
That's,
That's all it is. Yeah.
Small world, dude.
Exactly,
I've met
for
those
sure.
guys. They're all sweethearts.
Yeah, and Slay Squad made it to the finals against these guys, and I loved it when everybody did their little intro video on the show, almost like The Voice or whatever, or America's Got Talent. They had where they introduce the band. They say what their influences are, like 2 or 3 influences. And most bands are like, it's like an alternative band, and they're like, we like Blink-182 and the Alkaline Trio, and you're like, okay, I know what you're gonna sound like, right? And then this band comes on and they're like, our influences are Suicide Silence and Young Thug. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's very opposite ends of the spectrum. One's mumble rap. I was like, I guess I could see the overlap. I was like, one's sort of mumble rap and one's like screaming so heavy you can't totally understand it, I guess. I was like, so this should be interesting. And it's and then once you listen to it, you're like, oh, I totally get the vision. Like, I see exactly the vision here. But these are like 6 dudes who are from like the Inland Empire in California, which is not a great area of California. It is an area that's kind of riddled with a decent amount of crime and stuff.
It sounds nice, though.
Yeah.
The Inland Empire. It sounds really nice.
It's not. It's the area of California that doesn't touch any of the water,
Okay.
Yeah, so you imagine, like, if you're living in an area of California that touches none of the water, the reason it's called the Inland Empire, it's not the nicest area,
Yeah.
Like, the water, the places on the beaches are, like, Malibu and shit is where you want to be,
Yeah.
But these dudes, I find them very interesting. I don't want to call it new metal, because it doesn't, it is, but it's not, in a sense. Like, they call it ghetto metal. That's what they call it. I love that. It's like it very much applies. So I'll just sort of play little clips from a few. So I got Mongo, Beam, and Shishin.
All right.
Honestly, Mongo is like maybe one of their heavier ones right now, but I'll just play it. Fucking heavy, dude. You know what I mean? Also, I want to say their drummer, dude, he fucking rips. Like on the show, like when you see him like go at it, their drummer is fucking solid, man.
Yeah.
And then it breaks down into like this fucking trap song for a second. But then it's gonna get real heavy again. It's fucking wild. So that song though, it's also produced by Morgoth, which is the guitarist for Winds of Plague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he produces a lot of like emo or not like I guess like emo rock and fucking trap metal stuff and stuff. Like he's like the leader in trap metal these days, at least as far as production goes. It's pretty wild.
What's his name?
Morgoth, Morgoth. It's Morgoth Beats.
Okay.
But like look up his production. His production's fucking deep, dude. Like you'll see stuff and be like, holy shit, that was him too. Like it's wild. He's done a lot. But
Peep?
here. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Pete?
Yep. I think a little bit of it. This is Beam. This song's fucking wild. This song talks about, like, the one dude who raps, he talks about, like, if he found out who his dad's killer was now, he'd go fucking shoot him. Like, this song's called Beam. He's like, if I ran into my pop's killer, I'd beam him. Like, and, like, that's the fucking, like, that's what he's talking about. Like, he's lucky that he got locked up before I found out what his name is like what the lyrics essentially say.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. Dude, like, it's the only time I've ever heard somebody scream in a metal song, ain't got a doubt if I'm about it, and I'm like, I don't, like, not you, like, you know?
I have zero doubts that you are not about it.
Dude, this band should go on tour with King 810. I feel like that'd be the tour, man. Like, they feel like they'd be a good fit for each other.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
I think they'd actually be maybe a bad influence on each other.
Yeah, probably,
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be good ethically for them to be around each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this tour's ending in prison tour.
Yeah, dude. We're playing Folsom County Prison, dude.
Yeah, if we make it to the end of this, it's gonna be okay.
God damn, dude, that's hilarious.
It's fucking funny, man. Yeah, I think they'd be a good fit musically, but I think you are correct. They'd be a bad influence on each other, I think.
Yeah.
I think King 810 would probably be the worst influence. I don't know, man. It's funny. Here, I'll play a little clip.
Also,
of one more song,
I was looking at like a band photo of them recently, and I do want to say, I can't imagine how crazy the one white boy in this band has to be, dude.
In Slay Squad?
He's got to be a wild one, dude.
In Slay Squad?
Yeah.
He's the drummer.
Oh,
and
yeah?
He fucking rips, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. He's the drummer. Here's what I love. Is their bassist, when they were on No Cover, he was like after they finished their song, Tosin Abasi, apparently their bassist was just like their homie. They lost their bassist right before they went on the show or something.
Yeah.
And so they just got a bass and got
Which
like
that could mean something worse than a normal band losing their bassist. Yeah, they might have actually lost their bassist, dude.
Yeah. Dude, like, so like they like lost their bassist. I don't know what happened, and then they just got like their homie, just like their friend. Like they asked him like, come play bass for us. He's like, I don't play bass. And they were like, learn, figure it out. We got a bass for you. And like, so they just got their dude, like their ride or die dude, to like just come learn bass for them. And then they're playing, and then like they fucking rip, and like everybody's complimenting them on like No Cover. All the judges are complimenting them. And Tosin Abasi's like, you guys have a great sound. I love it. He's like, one thing is your bassist. You haven't been playing long, have you? And the rest of the band's like, oh, he fucking got you. Like, they all start just clowning on the bassist instead of being like, oh shit, yeah, unfortunately. Like, they're all just like, dog, you just got clowned.
Yo, Tosin just fucking exposed you.
Yeah, like they all just start clowning on the bassist right in front of all the judges and everything, and like it's so fucking funny, like seeing that vibe instead of them getting all scared and being like, oh no, like them just be like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's our dog. Actually, he doesn't really know how to play. Like,
he can't play.
Yeah,
he was doing open
funny.
Notes.
Yeah, it's fucking funny, dude.
That is great.
Yeah, it's great. And I love that vibe where it's like you could tell they're all friends too, you know, like which you gotta love that. Like, so they're having fun doing what they're doing. Also, like, they've said it's like it's the story you hear with rappers a lot of times with these dudes where they're like, this music is helping to keep us off the streets, basically. They're like, it was music or the streets, and we ended up choosing music. And like,
yeah, well then they definitely shouldn't tour with King 810 because King 810 chose music and the streets, dude. They were like, why not have both?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, man. It's fucking funny, but it's good. I'll just play those two songs and we can get on to Suckamour segment, because Seishin is also on there. Seishin's fucking phenomenal. I love that song as well. Check out any of Slay Squad. They have a song called X that's out right now that is on like Sirius XM right now. And this song X is also produced by Morgoth as well. So if you're into Mongo, X has a similar sound to it. I like the sound of Beam and Seishin a little more than I like Mongo and X, but that's just personally. I mean, like, I think Mongo and X are a little bit heavier and a little more like, a little more disjointed, if you will. But it's still really good. Good shit. I really enjoy it, and I'm excited to see what they put out when they finally put out an album, because they haven't put out like a full album since No Cover yet, since like really perfecting their sound. So
Yeah, it's been like
this is
mostly singles, right?
mostly singles, since like this sort of sound that you're hearing is mostly singles. So it's like I'm excited to see what the final product ends up coming out and looking like. And I wonder who it's going to be released under, because they have management now. They're on tour on the Chaos and Carnage tour with Suicide Silence and Dying Fetus are the headliners.
Okay.
It's got Sanguisugabog. Do you know the band I'm talking about? Sanguisabog or something?
Yeah.
Sanguisugabog?
Yeah.
They had a video go
Sanguisugabog.
viral recently where they were like throwing a football into the crowd. And they're like, whoever brings us this football after we're done at the merch booth gets a free T-shirt. And they threw the football into the crowd and then just started playing a fucking heavy hardcore song.
Oh Jesus, dude.
Yeah, then like, and you
probably
just see a
got
bunch of
mauled,
dudes
dude.
piling on each other in the crowd. Yeah, it was a TikTok. A bunch of dudes. It was literally a dog pile, like a football, like a football dog pile,
Damn.
and like. Yeah, they're like, whoever brings us this at our merch booth after our set gets a free T-shirt. And like throw it into the
awesome.
pit.
Yeah.
Apparently Tyrant X has done this before too, though. But fun stuff.
Okay.
But it's a big tour, Chaos and Carnage. You know, they're getting to tour Suicide Silence and fucking Dying Fetus. They're doing the festival circuit as well. They'll be at Incarceration, which is pretty cool. I'm excited to see them there because I've never seen Slay Squad live before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been into this band for a minute. They were also one of the selling points for Incarceration for me, honestly. I was either going to go see them at Chaos and Carnage tour in Pontiac, which just came through, which I didn't go to, and then I saw them about Incarceration, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go see them there.
Yeah. You got more bang for your buck on that too.
Exactly, and I'm excited to see it. I mean, it will be a daytime set, which kind of sucks, but otherwise, like, I found out at the Chaos and Carnage tour, they're the opening band, so, like, they're the ones who go on first, so it's like, either way, they are going to be up early, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
On the Chaos and Carnage tour, they're going up at, like, fucking 4:30 p.m., I think, most nights, because there's so many bands on the tour.
Who else is on that?
It's, like, Sanguisugabog, Dying Fetus, Suicide Silence... there's a few other ones. Who else? Let me look at the image of the poster real quickly. It's a big tour, dude. Fuck it. What is this? God damn it. Chaos and Carnage 2023. They do it like every year, so there's like a bunch of these fucking... I gotta type in 2023.
Okay.
Born of Osiris, Aborted, Sanguisugabog, and Crown Magnetar or something. Fucking.
There's
I
a
don't know,
band named Aborted.
Aborted. Yeah.
That's heavy, dude.
It's
a
fucking
heavy fucking name, dude.
Slay Squad, Crown Magnetar, Sanguisugabog or whatever, you know. Aborted, Born of Osiris, Suicide Silence, not Sleeping with Sirens, Suicide
That
Silence,
would be hilarious.
and Dying Fetus.
Which,
Yeah,
by the
Sleeping
way,
with Sirens in the middle of there.
Yeah, by the way, for the Suckamour segment, I'm saving the song with Kellen Quinn for last. So you got to wait a little while to hear it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Dude, and when they did it at the Crowfoot, they used all three rooms at the Crowfoot. Werner's room, Pike room, and Crowfoot. And they had a bunch of, like, other local openers. Boreworm, The Covalescence, Flesh Wound, Grave Bloom, Hate Unbound, Red Lord, 10,000 Teeth, Triangulations, and We Will Rot. Started at 4 p.m. were doors.
Oh.
That's
I hate
so
a show
many.
I hate a show that starts that early, dude. That's fucking ridiculous, man.
Sanguisugabog. It's SANGUISUGABOGG. That name's a fucking nightmare,
Yeah,
dude.
it's Sanguisugabog. I remember the Chris Garza talking to Jesus piece about that band.
Oh,
and
and Wrist
why I
Meat
looked him up.
Razor.
Wrist Meat Razor?
Yeah, that's also on the
That's
tour.
a fucking super emo name.
Yeah, that's also on the tour. But it's a big tour, you know what I mean, as far as, like, death metal goes. And it's big for Slay. It's like their first big tour, at least, with Slay Squad. It's their first big one. And then they're also doing the festival circuit along the way throughout the summer, which is great for them. So that's cool.
Dope.
I quite enjoyed them. And we can move on now to Suckamour. I'm done with my tangent on the trap metal band today.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh man, I don't want to do this. This is gonna be so embarrassing for me, dude.
All right, so we're gonna do Sicko 4.
Yeah,
Master?
Master 4. I know the name of this song. I don't know the name of all the songs on this EP anymore. I can't remember. But I know 3 of them, and this one is Bears in Minnesota.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
How about like none
Dude.
of the guitars seem in sync with each other here?
No, dude,
Like they're
this
just
is...
one's like over like the other one's like
Yeah, it's pretty rough, dude. It's pretty rough. Like, dude, the vocals are extremely bad,
dude,
too.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's
dude.
like when you're like fucking just pan frying your throat basically, you know, before you actually know how to scream and you're not using your actual chest, you're just pan frying your throat the whole time.
This is like right around the time Tony learned how to do fry screams, and that's what he was doing here, and they weren't good yet.
Yeah.
About to get real heavy, dude.
He's trying so hard to do that deep right there.
I mean, dude, I don't think he's trying. Jeremy did have... I'll say this. At this point, Jeremy did have good screams. Couldn't sing on key yet, though, for some reason.
Okay.
The singing in this song is terrible, dude.
Well, that deep growl sounds like a child trying to do a growl. You know what I mean?
Play it again. That's a pretty good guttural, dude.
I'm sorry. It sounds like a teenager doing gutturals.
He was a teenager. He was 18.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you can hear a child's voice doing gutturals as opposed to a grown man doing gutturals, or like a grown person's voice doing gutturals, you know? Like,
yeah, I get that.
It's like I hate to even say it, but it's like you can like usually tell like a woman doing the screaming in a band a little bit too. Not always, but like with Spirit Box, if you like, you kind of hear it.
I could tell, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not even trying to be a dickhead. I can absolutely tell. It's really apparent.
There's a couple that'll fool you. There's a few of them out there that can fool you. You just won't know.
It's really, really apparent in like hardcore, like traditional hardcore, when it's like a girl vocalist.
Yeah.
They have like a very distinctive like yell to it.
Well, it's because they typically have a higher, like they are usually in a higher register when they talk already. Like,
yeah.
And it's just like when you're a teenager, you're talking in a higher register than you are as a grown adult. You know, like,
yeah.
So you could tell it's a teenager doing gutturals. Is what I mean.
What you're trying to say is Jeremy sounds like a lady here.
No, I'm saying he sounds like a teenager doing gutturals.
A teen lady.
Which it's like that's where he was. So there's nothing wrong with that's what it sounds like. It's just what it sounds like.
No, but that's pretty good for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
These songs suck though.
The dissonance. Those panic chords.
It's pretty sick, dude.
It was so signature and like post-hardcore at the time, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Every post-hardcore band had those. It didn't matter. Like most. And I'll say these fit in a lot better than some of these other bands shoehorned them in. Like I listened to like Attack Attacks, like Someday Came Suddenly album, like, and it's like
terrible.
Yeah, but really shoehorned in there. Like in hindsight, I listened to it. I'm like, those are weird spots to put dissonant chords on that album.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, there's a lot of parts in this EP where you're gonna be like, what the fuck were you guys thinking? Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
This transition makes no sense.
No. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, this little riff that you got going here, I don't mind that riff, dude. I don't love the vocals over top of it currently.
Well, yeah, no.
But, like, I love that. I like that. I don't want to say love, but I like that riff that got going there.
It's not, dude, here's the thing. I listened to this EP all the way through last night, and I was like, huh, there are so many good ideas on this, executed absolutely terribly, dude. It's such poor execution.
I mean, I remember when I was in bands at this age, and it's like we just didn't have the concept of song structure. I think when I was playing guitar at this age, I was writing in a very similar style where it's like we were like, all right, one of us sort of just has to chug and keep the song moving, and then the other one could just sort of play whatever, you know? Like, and it's like we're just like the other one just stylizes the song, you know?
Well,
and that's what it was.
We ignored traditional song structure because also that's what a lot of our favorite bands were doing.
Same.
Like my favorite band around that time was probably like Chiodos, and they did not fuck with traditional song structure at all, except for maybe on like Bone Palace Ballet a little bit.
I'll tell you, when I was the one band that I really wrote with that we recorded anything, and we had a guitar demo at one point that I don't know if that exists. I might be able to find that guitar demo. We never recorded the full song, but I want to say it was like a 30-second to a minute-long guitar demo that me and the other guitarist recorded together.
Yeah.
I'll search for it. I'll see if I can find it. But regardless,
I want to see that band practice video from
It's not
Vimeo.
a band practice. It's a performance at our Battle of the Bands.
I have to fucking see that,
And
dude.
it's us performing Things That Rhyme with Orange by I Set My Friends on Fire.
No. Dude, man.
We opened our set with that.
Fuck, dude. That's tragic.
Yeah. There's a fucking... That was the first thing I learned how to play on my synthesizer was the opening riff to Things That Rhyme with Orange.
I have to see that video. But yeah. Anyways, let's push forward with... Also, I will say this. There's going to be a riff on the song we do on the next episode that you'll really like. It's more of like a southern riff. Yeah. And then we just lose it like 30 seconds later.
That's what I was about to say. If I find the guitar demo ever from the one band that I wrote with, which actually isn't the band that I have the performance video with, the one that I actually like recorded with was a different band, the guitar demo. And that one was more of a southern riff too, because I was very inspired by Maylene and the Sons of Disaster at the time, because I fucking love that band. I still do to this day, and I'm so happy they're back together. I'm stoked about that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, they released a new song and it fucking rips. We should go over that in a future episode. I want to talk about them.
No, you'll like this riff.
Dude,
I was
I was writing southern riffs. Like the other guitarist is like doing. Like the other guitarist should have been the lead. I'll be honest. He should not have let me take the lead. Like he was way better than me. Like, and he knew it too, but he let me take the lead. And I remember him being like, I couldn't nail the riff, and him being like, "Do you want me to just like help you record this one?" I was like, "No, dude, I got it." Like,
pride.
So, all right. Yeah, exactly. Arrogance. All right, we'll keep going in your songs.
So bad, dude. Keep going.
Sounds like you said barf bag. Barf bag. Oh, okay. Oh, this is painful. Yeah. I'll say to his credit, I've listened to Suckamour stuff that was the polished up version, and the vocals sounded way better than this.
Oh yeah, I mean
this is rough.
He's just off key.
Yeah,
he's not hitting the right notes, and I don't. It's always.
he figured it out at a certain point, kinda.
Yeah, no, he definitely figured it out.
But this is rough. This is a long song. We're like halfway through.
I know, dude. Wait till you hear the guitar solo that has vocals on it the entire way through. Here's the guitar solo, dude. That has vocals on it the entire way
Why
through.
did it just like stop playing?
Oh, it stopped?
Yeah, like stop playing.
Huh.
What the fuck? It should still be playing. What the fuck?
That is weird. There we go.
They really buried that solo, huh? Yeah, that solo's getting buried there, dude.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, they just went right over you. Just singing the other guitars just as loud as you.
Well, we thought it was sick.
Yeah. To bury the solo.
Yeah.
It's like how almost all like post-hardcore music turned down the bass almost all the way. Oh, gotta get brutal one time before the end.
You gotta, dude.
Yeah, this is where you drop down into crabcore stance, right? You gotta do the crouching headbang. All would synchronize.
Holy
oh,
shit.
no fun, like, you didn't even put a fun little fucking voiceover at the end? You know, you're supposed to end a hardcore song back then with, like, well, you don't even know what it's like to be, you know, like, not like you say that you want to, like, take a clip from a movie, you know? You, like, it's a fucking, you use a joke from, like, Step Brothers or something right at the end of the song. We're like, does this mean we're best friends now? And then it goes into the next song for some reason.
Well, I think in the demo of that song, which is, like, even rougher than that, even way worse sounding than that, which I'll never be able to locate that file. There's no way. That's gone into the abyss. But yeah, in the demo of that song, we had like the Willy Wonka thing where he's like, "You lose, good day, sir."
I fucking knew it. It was always. I was like, how did I fucking call it, dude? Like,
Dude, like
that was so signature hardcore.
You're more likely to be able to track down that Suckamour demo than I am, because if you have a bunch of MySpace demos, it might just be in your files somehow.
Dude, I have so many MySpace demos. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, nobody knows this because I sent it to you earlier, but like I took screenshots of the 2 Suckamour EPs that I had on my Apple Music saved that I had downloaded, and I was like, hey, were you on these? And I sent them to you, the screenshots, and you're like, that's fucking wild that you have that song. Like,
yeah, no, dude.
I have a song that's not on streaming of yours. Like
the Mana Fontana one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Dance cover is not streaming anywhere either. You can find those on YouTube, but you got to dig a little bit.
Yeah, but I got it on MySpace back in the day. It's like dated as 2012 in my music. You can see, like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's wild. That's funny, man. It does track though. 2012 was right around my senior year. That was my senior year. So yeah, it would have been around like 18, 19 there, something like that. Maybe 17.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
17 or 18 around then.
Jesus Christ, I can't even believe they put that. They put that out as an EP.
Yeah. It was on, I think, MySpace or something.
I
got it somehow. Yeah.
I don't remember ever like releasing an EP like that.
Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't an EP. Maybe it was all the singles, and I just bunched them together in my iTunes as an EP, and it was all the singles that were released on their MySpace, and I just put them all together into one folder like that.
I feel like that's probably what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think I maybe labeled it as Suckamour EP. Maybe it was put out as an EP though. I don't know.
Yeah, those songs suck, dude. Holy shit.
That's wild.
I was
But that
having
was fun,
some
man.
flashbacks to
Yeah,
being in the studio tracking that shit, dude.
it's wild.
There
Man.
was one song on it I couldn't even like remember writing or ever recording where I was like, I don't remember this song like at all. This is crazy.
Dude, I got jokes that are like that where I've watched like an old set of mine from like my first 2 years into stand up, and I was like, I don't even remember having that joke at any point. It's like that was a joke I did.
Yeah,
I said that on stage. Like it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, there was that, and then I had a flashback to me and Tony getting into a fight at the studio because he teabagged me. He dropped his bare nuts onto my head while I was playing video games, and I didn't like that. And then we fought.
Yeah, I mean today we call that sexual assault, but back then it was called just fun with the boys.
It was
you know?
we were just boys being boys. He didn't sexually assault me. It was 2008. And
yeah, it was 2008, so it wasn't then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we fought, and I actually like fucked up my hand and had to track guitar with like a messed up hand, which sucked.
I mean, he kind of deserved that. I'll be honest.
I deserved it.
No, he did.
Oh,
he
yeah,
deserved.
no.
Yeah, he kind of deserved that. No, you did. That'd be funny. I was
It's
like,
really
nah,
funny.
Dude, you're playing video games. You deserve to get nuts on your head, dude.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
happens when you play video games at the studio with your friends, idiot.
Yeah. That's just par for the course, dude.
Yeah.
You're tracking at the studio. You're staying the night there. You know what I mean? Because we were sleeping in the studio because like they had like a back room with like beds and stuff. So we were staying there. Yeah.
Fun times, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's like it is in hindsight. You look at it and you're like, it was fun in hindsight. Until it fell apart.
Yeah, I mean it was funny even after we stopped fighting. I was like, all right, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny that you just dropped your nuts on my dome. That's cool. What a fun way to end the studio trip. But yeah,
Well,
dude.
What a fun way to end this podcast is nuts on the dome, dude.
Nuts on the dome, dude. Yeah. Good thing we're doing this podcast on Zoom, Kyle.
It's a great title for the episode is Nuts on the Dome.
Nuts on the dome. Yeah.
No, that's the episode
We'll figure
title,
something
but
out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the episode. Follow us on Instagram at Comic Jake Ford.
I am Kyle Forsyth. The podcast is at Unless You Live Hardcore.
Yeah,
watch on YouTube, dude. I don't know. We have
listen.
video on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or on a website somewhere, come check it out on YouTube. We have video, and you can see our faces talking about this and see facial reactions to me listening to Suckamour.
Yeah, and if you don't want to see our faces and you just want to keep listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, rate and subscribe to the podcast.
Leave
Give
a
it
review.
Give it a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
So it
And
pumps
tell your
out-
friends.
So the algorithm pumps it out, dude.
And tell all your friends. Share any clips that you see that we share out there. Everything helps us. We appreciate anybody who's listened up to this point. I know there's probably not a ton out there yet, but we appreciate every single one that there is. So
Yeah, dude. We love
thank you.
guys.
And talk to y'all next week.
Hell
Bye.
yeah.